Corey Macklin was born on May the 6th, 1970. He passed away on July the 31st, 2013 on I-55 at 10:30 p.m. That's 10 years ago. Corey was 43 years old. He started with the USWA, teaming with Dave Brown at the tender age of 22 years old. He spent 6 years in the USWA and 3 years in Power Pro Wrestling. We lost Corey Macklin 10 years ago today. Rest in peace. A lot of great memories. And he did a great job for both the USWA and Power Pro Wrestling. And he helped me launch Power Pro Wrestling. Death today, mainstream. And we would like to talk about that as we start the show. Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens, entertainer, died at 70 years old. Shown here at a WWE event with The Big Show. Pee Wee Herman, a comedian, an actor, he passed away at age 70 today. And we have the sad duty to report one person that was a tough son of a gun. Tough son of a gun. First made an appearance in Memphis Wrestling in 1982. The Exotic Adrian Street. He was born on December the 5th, 1940. He passed away, and the news was just released by the family today, but he passed away a week ago on July the 24th at age 82. He debuted as a professional wrestler in 1957. He retired as a professional wrestler in 2014. The Exotic Adrian Street. And thanks to Shane Russell, we stole this from his Facebook page or his dad's Facebook page. Adrian and Linda lived in Pensacola, Florida. That's where Shane lives now, and that's where Lance and his wife Audrey moved in retirement, and they ran into each other for a long time. This is Adrian's house, is Lance and Adrian working out. That's just fantastic and great memories. And tomorrow night on Talking Memphis Wrestling, we'll show some video of that. Hey, hated to start the show with these sad news, but certainly I think it's our responsibility to do it as now we get ready for the Power Pro Wrestling Watch Along. And here's the open.
Power Pro Wrestling. Power Pro Wrestling. Power Pro Wrestling. The Power Hour.
Man, it was hot here today. It's the last day of July, July the 31st. But man, Man, August will be hotter. Dreading that. Hope everybody's doing good as we end the month of July. Want to say hi to Greg Wayne. Greg does his show Wayne's World on Thursday night at 7 Central. Be sure to support Greg. Also want to say hello to David Linville, to Jeff Frog Wheeler, to Brooks Tullis, to my buddy and the biggest Power Pro fan, except for Adam Dunn, of anybody in the history of mankind, Andrew Calvin Jr. Andrew, I am doing great. Greg starts like he always starts, and he says, "Yellow, everybody." And Al Tuttle says, "Hello, Adam, Randy, and everybody else." PJ's saying hello. Everybody's saying hello. And I want you to say hi to Adam Dunn before we start with the preview. Adam's comments of the opening segment of the show as we started with 3 sad deals today, which we don't like doing. But again, we have a responsibility here that we take very seriously to be updated and that sort of thing. Welcome to the show. Good to see you. What's your comments?
Well, just as always, I'm glad to be here. Hate to be here under the circumstances, of course, as you've been watching since the show started here. Had the sad news to report of Adrian Street passing away, and of course the anniversary of losing Corey Macklin as well. Hard to believe it's been years already. And then the sad news of Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, who also had a tie-in there to wrestling, as we saw the picture of him on there with the Big Show. So unfortunately, 3 sad things. They always seem to come in threes, don't they, Randy?
That's what I think. Heard that a lot of times today. All right, it's a power hour. Here we go. We're at September 18th, 1999. What are you going to show to us today, Adam?
All right, so we're going to start out with a recap of show number 74. Then we'll see Cornette, Sin, and Bradley will be out for an interview. Lance Jade orders pizza in the studio. And then we'll see Steve Bradley against Kurt Angle. We'll have a Brandon Baxter interview where the brawl ends up in the parking lot. A mystery opponent for Cornette will be named, and he does a real big fired-up interview you'll want to stay tuned for. Glenn Kolka goes against Wolfie D, and we've had a lot of returns lately. Today will be the return of Brian Christopher. We'll have a Vic Grimes interview as well, so a lot of big things coming up on the show today, Randy. Brian Christopher makes his return to the Power Hour here today.
Be sure, everybody, to share this page. Be sure, if you have wrestling fans close to you and they have not watched this show, man, this will be an action-packed show. Of course, we're on the Randy House Facebook, the Randy House Twitter and Twitch, and we're also on YouTube, the Randy House channel. That's youtube.com/@RandyHills. We're all over the place, and we love it when people from other platforms besides Facebook, but we love you, Facebook people. We love you. You keep us going with great comments. We're ready for show number 75, September the 18th of the year 1999. Adam will push the button, and here we go.
Qualification, but no pin on. Who is this? What's going on here, and where did she come from? Jumping Vic Grimes from behind. What is going on here? Somebody has just jumped in.
My name is Sin, and I'm Vic Grimes' girlfriend from California.
Shut up!
And I'm here because Vic Grimes screwed up my life.
That was 2 years ago, 50 pounds lighter, and for only about 2 months, until I found out she was a psycho nutcase. You know that everything that poor woman said is true, and you have done nothing but make her life miserable and the doggy.
Bradley nails Vic Grimes from behind as Cornette is out here yelling. Oh my goodness! They've got Vic.
Let her do
Well, they got him tied to the ropes, taped to the ropes. It looks like. Oh, no, this is just ridiculous here. Cornette, wouldn't you do?
So, Jim Cornette, I'm not going to tell you who it is, but next Saturday night, you'll be in the ring against a mystery opponent at the New Daisy Theater.
As Cornette and Kevin Christian continue to work on Brandon Baxter. Here comes Help. I don't know who it is. Is it Help? Yeah, he goes after Tierney and then after Coca. He goes after Kevin Christian.
Power Pro Wrestling.
That was the debut of Ali, his first appearance on Power Pro Wrestling. That was a Brandon Baxter find, and Brandon did a very good job in getting over Ali.
Power Pro Wrestling.
Loved by the people in that TV5 audience.
Well, there were a lot of unanswered questions from the Power Hour last week. Hopefully today some of those will be answered. We'll be telling you about a big back-to-school special at the New Daisy Theater tonight and a huge lineup of matches here today. Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Brown with Corey Macklin.
Hey, glad to be back in the saddle. And it's James E. Cornette in the house.
You see what I did? I let you get hello everybody out this
And
week
that's about
because I
all.
knew you were ticked off. Now let me explain something. Come on over here, young ladies. Matter of fact, Dave, why don't you back up a little bit? I want people to see the talent around here. You see, everybody out there better get on the telephone, as my old friend the Big Cat used to say, and call somebody. Because today is the last day of Power Pro Wrestling's existence. They're out of business with the forces that I've assembled today. Because you see, Corey Macklin, you and Brandon Baxter, you should have learned. When Randy Hales got hospitalized and sent out, when Doug Gilbert got put out of wrestling forever, you should have learned and handed over the keys to the store. But no, what do? I'm glad you're standing here in front of me. What do? You come in last week and you get some thug out of the jail off the street to come in here and try to save your necks.
He's not a thug.
And then you signed me to wrestle tonight at the New
Good to
Daisy
have
Theater.
Al
You have
Tuttle
the
watching the
guts
show
to
and
tell
Greg
me who the
Campbell
opponent
watching the
is.
show.
And worsely, you don't fire Vic Grimes after this young lady comes to reveal his true character. Well, Steve Bradley is going to take care of Vic Grimes tonight at the New Daisy.
Well, being the man that I am, I will strike a blow for American women everywhere and defeat that drunk, deadbeat dad, Vic Grimes. And I will do it all for this fine, young Christian girl.
That's right, because let me explain something. Some people have painted this woman as deluded and demented, that she's a clingy woman
Hey,
that wouldn't let
PJ.
go.
I don't believe she's no
That-
Christian, I
that
tell
she
you.
wasn't Vic Grimes' soulmate, that he didn't steal her car and ruin her life. But I say to you, Memphis, Tennessee, that I see here a delicate flower, a paragon of American womanhood, a tragic figure of sympathy and courage.
Got a what?
Hey, there's no smoking anywhere in this building. Just
At
put that
any
away.
rate,
Don't even try
I
it.
see that Vic Grimes ruined her life. And so tonight at the New Daisy, we're going to take it out on him because you see tonight,
Everything's
when
good,
Vic Grimes
Greg.
beats Steve Bradley. If Steve Bradley wins, they're going to handcuff Vic Grimes to that turnbuckle, and she is going to give him 10 lashes with a leather strap to take out the mental anguish and the pain and suffering that he's inflicted on her over the years. But if Vic Grimes wins, they're going to take this innocent young flower, and they're going to handcuff her and whip her 10 times with a belt. And I say to you, Memphis, Tennessee, come out, support Steve Bradley. Do not let this happen. Instead, for the pain and the suffering and the anguish, Vic Grimes, she will take it out on you tonight at the New Daisy, a public flogging for a charlatan, a reprobate, and a scoundrel. Young lady.
Vic, tonight I'm going to get even with you. Because tonight they're
Hey,
going to
Shane.
let me give you
We
10
let off the
lashes
show
that
with the
belt.
news about Shane
Like
Otter.
when I whip you, Vic. But she
Of
ain't gonna let me.
I
Tonight,
can't
I'm gonna
talk.
take out all the horrible things you've ever done to
Can't
me
talk,
out on your
Shane.
back
Sorry
with
about
that
that.
belt.
Rest in
You may
peace
be
to
the innovator of
Adrian
West
Street.
Coast
We'll have
violence,
videos
but
of him.
everything you
We'll
learned
show
about pain,
tomorrow
you
on the
learned
quote.
from sin.
That's right, and we're going to teach somebody else something right here today, and that's how to wrestle, because Steve Bradley is the best at what he does. Thank you, guys.
Can you believe this?
It's just disgusting. I tell you what he's done. He has just seized on an opportunity. Let's take a look at somewhere back here. That's Tierney and Kolka. They have been causing all kind of problems around here too. Looks like they're working out for later on today. And we have big action coming up
In
tonight down at the
Memphis,
New Daisy
Jimmy
Theater.
Hart was
You see
better.
what's going on here? Pete
Nationwide,
Stan just
worldwide,
followed up.
it was
Let
Jim
him say
Cornette.
bye to Pete.
So
Get him out of
He can't do that.
if you
What
look
in the world is
at
he
just
doing?
Memphis, I'd have to say Hart.
This guy's lost.
But if you look at the total career, other places, I would say
Hey, Tony,
Cornette.
this is not the
And
breakfast
hey,
club.
he didn't even tip the guy if he delivered the pizza to him.
Figures.
Can you believe that?
What in the world are we having pizza in the studio for, Adam? And I don't remember a heck. I was too busy doing a TV show to eat. I did not get any of that pizza whatsoever, but I probably bought the damn thing.
Boy, here we go on the Power Hour.
Oh, we've only been on the air 6.5 minutes, and already we've had all kind of weird things happen. Corey, I know you weren't here last week. Congratulations on the new baby, by the way.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
And you know, Cornette, this woman came in here just in the ring. Vic Grimes admit, yeah, there's some history, but it is history. And Cornette is just seized on that. And half the stuff or more that Cornette is saying about it just is not true.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you. Happy to be back here this week. Got an opportunity to watch the Power Hour last week, and I saw this girl come in, and she must have whipped Vic Grimes. I'm taking to a bloody pulp. She must have slashed him about 100 times in that thing. What about? Look at this. Slingshot right off the ropes by Bradley. This guy
Yes,
can
of course
wrestle.
I remember
The only bad thing I
Scott
hate,
Bauer.
Dave, is he's associated with James E. Cornette.
He is hooked up with Cornette. That's the bad thing. Steve Bradley with a body slam on Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle really looking for a victory. It doesn't look good now. Count of 1, 2. Oh, only a 2 count.
That's all he can get. Role model that all those Boy Scouts can look up to.
Yeah, Kurt Angle's a role model that those Boy Scouts can look up to. Former Olympic champion. He defeated J.R. Smooth for the Power Pro title on July 24th. He was undefeated.
Watching show
in,
number
not only in
75,
Power
Power
Pro,
Pro
in
Wrestling,
professional
September the 18th,
But then on August 7th, he lost the title to
1999.
Steve Bradley thanks to Jimmy Cornette.
24 years ago, Adam.
And he's had several return matches, but what's always been happening here is that Cornette has been getting a disqualification.
They kind of got
so that the
tied
title
up,
doesn't
and
change
both of
hands
them
on
a
a
little.
DQ, so
That was a
Bradley's
little
still a champion.
awkward there.
However,
2 count there.
Steve Bradley was defeated by Kurt Angle in a match here a couple of weeks ago. And if Kurt Angle, even though it's a non-title match, if he can get a pin right here and a count of 3, it's going to be a great feather in his cap as he goes for the title later on.
Boy, look at Angle block him, backed him up, whipped him into the ropes.
I've
Now
seen
goes
the
Steve
crowd
Bradley.
more lively.
Big matchup. Hey, we've got a big night of wrestling coming up tonight.
Uh-oh.
Referee, that was an accident.
Oh,
Kurt was
man.
going after Steve Bradley, and the referee was there as Bradley ducked
slammed
out of the way.
He slammed referee Aubrey Wayne over there. And look at Kurt Angle, sets him up. Bradley slips behind, misses with a clothesline, and Angle's got him. Belly to belly suplex, he's got a pin cover. Here comes Glenn Polka. Whoopie D's on him. Whoopie stops Polka. Here's Mick Tierney out now, Dave.
Angle gets up, sees Tierney coming in, stops him from getting into the ring. Meanwhile, around behind, Steve Bradley puts it down on the mat. The referee's still not there.
He's got him by the tights.
Here
Who
comes-
is this?
What is that?
A 3 count.
Some guy in a... All right.
He's a referee.
Yeah, he is, but it
One of
wasn't
the
his
new referees.
match.
I don't remember this at all, Adam. Do you?
All right, well, Bradley is going to be the winner, it looks like. He got the
Oh,
count of 3, and this is a legal referee.
Oh, the count.
Okay, Kurt Angle's not too happy.
Oh, look at Whoopi.
Puts a belly-to-belly suplex on him, and Wolfie is telling him, don't do that. These two guys,
Get along.
and they're partners.
He was good at getting me to hate him too, Greg.
2 days. Well, this is not going to work, this kind of stuff.
Let's go. Tony Falk still trying to get a job at Power Pro. Let's go see what's going on there.
Brandon, have you been able to help a brother out? Come on, man, I'm serious.
Tony, I already told you before that I don't have a spot for you right now, okay?
Come on,
I
Brandon.
got other things on my mind. Derek King's opponent didn't show up for the Young Guns title.
Wait a minute. I know Derek King is the Young Guns champion, but I feel young again. I feel 18 again, Brandon. Let me wrestle him
Tony,
today.
will you leave me alone if I let you wrestle Derek?
I will leave you
Don't
alone.
wrestle me anymore.
Let me wrestle him right here today.
Okay, get your
Yeah,
bag here.
oh yeah, I love you. Come here, man. I love you, man. I'm gonna do it today. I'm coming back today. Oh yeah.
This is the Go Home Show for the new Daisy. A little later on during the night, Power Pro Wrestling. And we're showing show number 75 from April the 18th, 1999, 24 years ago. As Drew Calvin Jr. says, Tony was a trip. Yes, he was. Hope everybody, wherever you are, it's a little cooler than it was here. And Adam explains it's pretty darn hot in the Peach Tree State of Georgia as well. As we come at you every single Monday for Power Pro Wrestling, every Tuesday talking Memphis Wrestling, unusual show as Michael St. John's grandson has a birthday party. Then Pat Trammell is in Ireland. Then, no, I think he's leaving tomorrow for Turkey. So it will be Chris Ellis returning to the show. And for the first time in a long time, the King of Kingsport, old Bo James, will be with us tomorrow night on Talking Memphis Wrestling. Looking forward to that. Tons of information, tons of talk about modern wrestling as we will review the Cody Rhodes documentary that was released today. And man, oh man, it was great. As you see, as Adam does a great job, American Nightmare becoming Cody Rhodes is a pro wrestling deal about a pro wrestler. And I know wrestling, but I can also admit to you with no shame at all, I cried multiple times during that show this afternoon, multiple times. I recommend it to everybody. It was tremendous on Peacock Network. Be sure to check it out.
Address stamped envelope to TV5 Power Pro Wrestling, 1960 Union Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee, 38104. Hey, big back-to-school special coming up tonight at the New Daisy Theater.
We take a look and just think earlier how we opened the show with a picture of Corey announcing that 10 years ago tonight at 10:35 on I-55 northbound, Corey Macklin was involved in a fatal car wreck, and we lost Corey Macklin 10 years ago today. Very sad, very sad.
Against Chris the Dragon Cannonball. Following that, a big triple threat match for the Young Guns title. Kid Wicked, Slick Robbie D, Derry King.
First time ever in Memphis, it's the debut of Allie Stevens in a handicap match. You'll see Big Allie in action tonight.
Grudge tag team match coming up. Glenn Kulka, Mick Tierney, you saw him briefly a moment.
Hey, come on, Lance.
Come on, Jade. Trying to take care of business here. Glenn Kulka, Mick Tierney. They're going to have Kevin Christian in their corner going against Wolfie D and Kurt Angle.
Yeah, and that's not all. Then you're going to see a special challenge match.
Hey, Lance, hold it down. We let you eat pizza in here. You sit over here reading the paper, but don't sit there and yell boring. If you don't like it, get up and get out of here.
Got that right.
Sorry, Corey.
That's okay. Special challenge tonight. There's a mystery opponent. Cornette doesn't like it, but he'll have to put up with it tonight. It's James E. Cornette in the ring with Kevin Christian, a mystery opponent with Brandon Baxter looking across the way.
And then the Power Pro heavyweight title match. The loser gets 10 lashes. Sensational Steve Bradley with Sin, and Jim Cornette against Vic Grimes.
Get him out of here.
Let's just take him out.
Security, get him out of here. Come on. That's enough. Prices tonight. Big night. Special
I think Ali debuted with the run-in last week, and then unless he wrestles on the show we're watching today, his in-ring debut at the New Daisy, I think.
Get him out. Take him out of the building.
Not sure. We can watch and see.
That should make you happy. You just threw pizza in that guy's face, though.
Say that again, Adam.
So that should make you happy that he threw pizza in his face.
Well, I tell you, you're not going to come in here and do like that. We've told you before. Take him out. Get him out of here. He is not allowed back in this building today. Get him out of here. Take him away.
He doesn't have all his marbles.
And if he tries to come back in, call and have him arrested.
Stand
about the mystery opponent coming up tonight. Two Daisy. Jim Cornette has got a big outside. What a thought about it. Cornette's not happy. But whether he likes it or not, the matchmaker, Brandon Baxter, has arrived to the Power Hour.
The next comment is going to be put up. Adam is not put it up. I am, because he wouldn't put it up, but I am.
Tell me, who is this big guy? I was at home last week with the new baby and I'm watching the Power Hour and see this big guy show up. Who in the world was he last week?
Well, you know, I guess that's a question that pretty much
Brooks
everywhere I've been over
Dawes,
the last week, people are saying,
Mobile,
who was
Alabama.
that came in at the end of the Power Hour?
Appreciate
And,
your service
just kind of
as a
background,
police officer
you know,
in
I know Dave knows
Mississippi
that
and now
when you're a matchmaker, you
in
get,
Florida.
I mean, resumes
Now in
and
Alabama.
demo tapes and pictures and all kinds of guys all across the country want to come and wrestle for Power Pro Wrestling.
Right.
I walked into TV last week and there was a guy out there. I took his tape and didn't really think much about it. And the next thing I know, when I was down here, Jim Cornette and Kevin Christian, they basically had me to do, they could do whatever they wanted to. And out of nowhere, this guy came. After television, I talked to him, and his name is Ali.
Ali, he's a big son of a gun, I'll tell you that. He's big as they
And
come.
Ali, you know, I thought, heck, this guy isn't a superstar of the future. He's a superstar right now. So I thought, let's give the fans a treat, and let's book Ali in a handicap match for tonight, back to school special at the New Daisy Theater.
So it's Ali tonight. He's in a handicap match tonight at the New Daisy.
I agree with you, Brooks.
Officially, I guess, tonight. Hey, what about the mystery
Adam, for
opponent?
some reason,
JC
likes to be
Cornette,
buddies
you
with
reveal this
Kevin.
mystery opponent?
Well, you know, I'm not quite ready to reveal that mystery opponent because I kind of like knowing that Jim
Still,
Cornette's back there. And he's
still
probably
that scene
shaking and
post
he may
up
have
on
even
the
acted-
Memphis Wrestling
he may
Hall
have
of
accidentally
Fame
even wet his
page
little
that makes
panties.
me throw up.
Hey, come on, Kevin.
I
What?
just heard Brandon say, you know, he kind of likes being the matchmaker. You might like being the matchmaker, but let me tell you something about you being the matchmaker. You're an embarrassment and an insult to this business when you're the matchmaker. You come out here dressed like a slob. This is how you should dress if you're going to be the matchmaker. Quite frankly, Brandon, you suck at what you do. You know that?
Who invited you out here,
Our
Kevin
pro
Christian?
wrestling scene was just on in Memphis only.
Hey, you know, if I mean, Jimmy Cornette sent me out here to beat you to an inch of your life, Brandon, because he's sick of you putting him in these kind of matches. Jimmy is not a
He
wrestler.
sent you out here to beat me. Cornette ain't got nothing to do with it. Brandon's the official matchmaker, and you and Cornette, if you don't like
It's
it.
got everything to do with it. You don't stick a guy like Jim Cornette in a wrestling match. He's a manager. He's not a wrestler. But you probably don't understand that because you're not a wrestler. I mean, nobody even knows what your role is, but you're in more matches than Kurt Angle and Steve Bradley. So what's the deal, Brandon? Now that you're the matchmaker, you want to try to get over with the people and get over with everybody and try to put all these guys that don't belong in the ring in the ring? That's why I didn't get in there last week and beat you up, because I don't belong in the ring.
Is that a challenge, Kevin? Is that a challenge? You want to wrestle me today?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Hey, I don't know if you have the guts to do it because you chickened out 2 weeks ago, but let's do it now.
Brandon says, hey, let's get it on right smack dab in the middle of the ring. How about it, Kevin?
You want me in the ring? All right, I'll do it.
Yeah, he says, well, you want me in the ring? What?
Hey, hold on a second. This is an important page. Let me go return this page real quick, and then I'll come.
No, wait a minute. Sound like to me you made a verbal commitment. No, hey, come on. Hey, way to go, Corey. Yeah. You said you'd do it. Look out.
Whoa! You're exactly right.
Yeah.
He keeps making these challenges and then backs out of it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, look out. Steve Bradley
look
comes
out.
jumping in here. Obviously, Cornette sent him in. He nails Brandon Baxter. Here comes Vic Grimes. Vic Grimes goes after Steve Bradley.
Killer 6 brawl, wildness, craziness going on.
It is. Glenn
The
Coker
organization
jumps in.
comes out.
Here
Watch
comes
this,
Angle.
people. Watch this. There's action. Donnybrook is broke down.
Mick Tierney, the big Irishman, shows up. We got a ring full right here. What started out as an impromptu challenge
I'm
by
telling
Kevin
you.
Christian. Here comes Wolfie D.
Oh, here's Cornette.
And there's Cornette.
Cornette
Of
with
course.
a handful of powder. And look out, Whoopie.
Oh, he throws powder in Wolfie's face.
And slams him with that tennis racket.
Here's Ali Stevens.
Here's Ali. Ali hits the ring. He goes after Coca. He's got Steve Bradley over in the corner. Clovers him. And the big guy shows up again this week on the Power Hour.
Look out.
Taking care of business, and out they go. Look out.
Wrestling out of the studio. There they go.
There's Cornette. Oh, look out, Brandon.
He nailed him from behind with that.
Cornette. Oh, they're out of the building, out in the parking lot there. Angle going after Tierney. Ali sends Kolka into one of the bands. Vic Grimes. Meanwhile, Kevin Christian and Brandon Baxter still going at it in here. Wolfie D disabled. Cornette running around with that tennis racket in here while his free-for-all's going on out in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm telling you, right outside the studios, they're fighting at it. Who is that at the door? That's somebody guarding the door lock.
That's not one of the security guys.
Who in the world is that?
Who is that? Can't tell from the shadows.
Standing at the door, just holding the door with his back turned to the camera there. And they're out in the parking lot going at it. Meanwhile, Whoopi's out after the powder in his eyes. Kevin's putting it on him. And Cornette's still swinging that tennis racket.
Here comes Aubrey Wayne, still a little bit groggy from what happened to him earlier. And there's no help. Wait, what is this?
Oh,
a big garbage can, and Randy Hales has jumped in the ring to help Brandon. And Wolfie with the big garbage can, he nails him. Throws the can out on top of Jim Cornette.
And throws that tennis racket. He should throw that tennis racket in that garbage can.
Yeah, he should have.
Put Cornette in there and throw all of them out of here.
Cornette.
He slipped up and falls, probably on that pizza that they had laying around the floor.
Randy, says the crowd. Yeah, man, I've never been happier to see him. He's been out for 6 weeks after an injury, thanks to James Cornette. Hauled him off to the hospital here after the show one Saturday. Yeah, I agree with you. Get Cornette out here. I tell you what, we probably better do, Randy. I think we better take us a break, and then I want to talk to Randy. I want to get some info from him. Let's take the break, and we'll be back in just a moment. Maybe we can get Cornette back out here.
Oh, yeah.
The return of ORH, the owner, the founder, president, Power Pro Wrestling.
Garbage can, and Randy Hales has jumped in the ring to help Brandon. And Wolfie with the big garbage can, he nails him. Throws the can out on top of Jim Cornette.
And throws that tennis racket. He should throw that tennis racket in that garbage can.
Yeah, he should have.
Put Cornette in there and throw all of them out of here.
Cornette.
He slipped up and falls, probably on that pizza that they had laying around the floor.
Randy, says the crowd. Yeah, man, I've never been happier to see him. He's been out for 6 weeks after an injury, thanks to James Cornette. Yeah, just thank you for showing up here, Randy Hales. Back. What a return, too, huh?
First thing I want to do, I got to thank two people for holding the fort down the last 6 weeks with me gone. Corey Macklin, thank you, and I want to thank Brandon Baxter. But I think it's obvious to everybody that the owner, that the founder, and the president of Power Pro Wrestling is back, and I'm back in charge, people. Now, I understand there's hundreds of people in the studio today, and I appreciate every one of them. There's a lot of people sitting at home, hundreds of thousands watching TV5 all over the Mid-South watching this, and I appreciate every one of you. But I'm not worried about ratings for the first time in my life. I'm not worried about drawing a house in the New Daisy tonight. What I'm worried about, what I'm thinking about is Jim Cornette. I think most of these people out here are my friends. I think they know that Power Pro Wrestling, people, Power Pro Wrestling has been my dream. Power Pro Wrestling Wrestling has been my passion. Power Pro Wrestling has been my life. And Jim Cornette tried to take it all away from me. But let me tell you something. If you think for 1 second that I'll let some low down, no good, scum of the earth, backstabbing, egg-sutting, rockin' son of a... take this company away from me, you don't know Randy Hales very good at all. You don't know him good at all. Now, let me say this, and I want to make this real clear. When you grow up and become a man, you realize there's something in life, some points in your life that you have to take drastic measures to protect something you love. You do it for Margaret. You would do it for the kids. I'd do it for my family. But I would also do it for my business. I would do it for Power Pro Wrestling. And about 6 weeks ago, after about 20 years of coming to this station at 8 o'clock on Saturday mornings, and then 1 o'clock getting in the car and leaving, you know what happened? You were here. I was carried out to a stretcher on an ambulance and out to Baptist East. We went to the hospital. That's exactly what happened to me. But Jim Cornette, if you think that was the last Randy Hales would ever be seen on Memphis television, you're stupider than you look, and that's for sure. Now, there's the old Jim Croce song, Dave, and I'll butcher the lines here, but I love this song and I think it's great. The song talks about there's things in life you don't do. It says that you don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit in the wind. You don't mess with the mask of the old Lone Ranger. And Jim Cornette, you're going to find out you don't try to screw me out of Power Pro Wrestling. That's for sure.
All right.
Now, when it comes down to this, the mystery opponent is no mystery. It's going to be me. I'm going to ask
Good to hear from you,
Baxter
Bishop.
to keep
We saw
Kevin
some
Christian
Ali
out of it. I'm
if
gonna
you were
ask
watching
Kelly
about
Warren
5
Wolfe
minutes ago.
and all my friends to make sure it's me and you, Jim Cornette.
Randy's the
And this is not going to be Jack Briscoe and Terry Funk. This is not going to be a technical wrestling match. This is going to be a fight. Now, I grew up in Jonesboro, Arkansas, where there were street fights. You grew up in your mother's house practicing tennis lessons, Jimmy Cornette. It's a fight between me and you. Now, I want to say one more thing. It's no secret. On Wednesday night in my church, I'm a youth minister, and I teach the kids, and I try to teach them the right things. This past week, our lesson was on hate, and I'm not going to come out and say I hate you, Jim Cornette, but what I'm going to come out and tell you, Jim Cornette, is tonight at the new Daisy Theater, Randy Hales and Jim Cornette. There's no way, Jim Cornette, I'm laying down for you. You're in for a fight, and you're not equipped to handle it, and that's a fact.
That's the word from the founder, the owner, and the president of Power Pro Wrestling. He's the mystery man. He'll be going against Jim Cornette tonight, and we'll be back.
It's fun. It's exciting. It's Love It with Stars. Bring Power Pro Wrestling to your town. The perfect sports entertainment to raise money for your school or civic organization. Call 870-932-3028 today for more information. School leaders, civic group leaders, contact Power Pro Wrestling and bring the stars of Power Pro and the World Wrestling Federation to your hometown.
We're going to break away right now and come back to me, break away a little bit from this show. I'm Randy Hales. The show is coming to you from my hometown and was the office place of Power Pro Wrestling. It's good to be in my hometown of Jonesboro, Arkansas. Adam Dunn is in Georgia. He is producing this show. Now, I want to backtrack a little bit as we break in, and we'll be back to the show in just a few minutes. Show number 75 from September the 18th, 1999. We started the show right off the bat telling everybody, very sad situation that 10 years ago today, the wrestling world lost somebody we've seen a lot of on this program today, the great Corey Macklin. Corey Macklin was born May the 6th of 1970, passed away on this date, July the 31st, 2013. That's 10 years ago today. Also, it was announced today the exotic Adrian Street. Adrian, who had a heck of a run in Memphis in 1982, 83, and he came back a couple of other times. The news released today that Adrian, who was born December the 5th, 1940, passed away in July 24th. So a week ago today of the year 2023 at 82 years old. Certainly one thing that we would also like to mention that 5 years ago this past Saturday on the 29th day of the month of July, and one of the saddest things, a shocking thing, Too Sexy Brian Christopher passed away at the Med in Memphis, Tennessee. We all love us some Brian. Entertain us. He was a great talker, a great personality, great in the ring. Brian born January the 10th, 1972 in Memphis, Tennessee. He passed away, and it just pains me. In July the 29th, 2018, at 46 years old. Brian Christopher, we'll see a little later on in this Power Hour. Little second minute of silence for Brian, for Corey Macklin, for Adrian Street, and for Pee Wee Herman. Yeah, Brian's been gone 5 years. Absolutely unbelievable. 10 years for Corey, 5 years for Brian. We'll continue to show number 75 from September the 18th of 1999. Hello, Crazy L. Let's go back to the show. Hello, Tanner.
No longer now,
Not a mystery at all. It's going to be Randy Neal's doing against Jimmy Cornette, who I'm sure is very unhappy about it right now. As a matter of fact, what's going on back there?
Cornette's making a phone call. For God's sake. You got time. You got time. The show's only half over. Get down here. I want you here by the end of the show. All right? Good. You'll do it? Very good. We need something.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't need anything that Jimmy Cornette would make a telephone call about. Who could that be in town?
Know, but I'll tell you one thing, Cornette, he's soaking wet over there. He is.
Tanner from the state of Washington. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us on the Power Hour.
If you have tickets, we're going to tape the show at our regular time that we're on live. So the tickets are good. Be here at the regular time. But the show, due to a sporting event on NBC, will be on next Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock next week only.
Next week only, 4 p.m. So after you take off and take the family to church and all, come back, watch the Power Hour next Sunday, 4 p.m. right here on TV5.
Also, we got a group of Boy Scouts here with us today. Glad to have them.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be part of the big Bartlett celebration coming up this next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Troop 459 from Ellisdale United Methodist Church. Power Pro Stars are going to be out as part of the Bartlett celebration next week, too. Also, understand it's going to be a dunk tank. What if Polka maybe could be in a dunk tank? But the dunk tank is going to be to raise money for the Boy Scouts. That's next weekend. Power Pro Stars next Saturday.
31st day of July. Currently in Jonesboro, Arkansas, 86 degrees. Heat index is at 93 degrees. Whoopie D of PG-13.
Whoopi's looking pretty good. Wolfie's looking good, and that's sort of
really
amazing after what's happened to him already today. He's had powder thrown in his face by Jim Cornette, and he really beat up on him and Brandon Baxter. As just about everybody went outside, but...
Whoa! Look at that. Wolfie slams Glenn Coca down. The big guy out of Chicago is Coca.
Oh,
snap. He's calling for the knee drop. Shuts it down on Coca, and he immediately goes for a pin count. Gets the 2, and Coca gets up. Heard you talking earlier today about the Boy Scouts, and I was glad to have them here today. Happy. The group from Bartlett, right?
absolutely.
Hey,
Ellendale.
want to talk about coming up tomorrow afternoon. We'll have more on this a bit later. United Cerebral Palsy is going to have a big toy drive coming up tomorrow afternoon. We'll give the specifics on that a little later on in the Power Hour.
Yeah, they had a tragic fire, and they're accepting donations, including the big toy drive. They're very, very worthy, because we had a news story about it on Action News 5 yesterday. So, yeah, you're going to have more about that a little bit later on.
Yes, sir. Oh, man. Whoopi went in, nobody home. Power slam from Coca. Hook the leg, and he only gets 2.
I thought he had him, but he only got a 2 count. Wolfie D, Glenn Coca, what a match we got going.
I mean, we got a dandy going.
Hey, one more plug while we're at it. Tomorrow afternoon, 1 to 3, Power Pro Wrestling Stars will be at Willingham's Barbecue. That's out on Brookhaven Circle. That's 1 to 3 tomorrow afternoon to meet the Power Pro Stars, including, I don't know, maybe Wolfie's going to be there. I'm not sure what the schedule is.
Boy, they got great barbecue.
That's exactly right. My buddy John Willingham. Should be a fun afternoon.
High in the air, and down goes Wolfie D. Coca
That's one barbecue place I've never heard of, Adam.
Wolfie's on his feet. Right in the midsection, he stops him. Comes off the ropes with a big forearm, trying to get the big guy down. One more time, he's
John Willingham's?
Comes off there again.
Are you aware?
Over the top.
Yeah, wasn't that, I think he was one of Lawler's buddies, and I think he ran for mayor a couple times.
Wolfie went after it.
And over that top rope he goes.
This Coca's one tough son of a gun, let me tell you. Former Canadian Football League player,
That was
former
a cool
hockey
deal I
player.
did
Yeah,
with Brian.
he's big, he's
Put a red
bad.
leg in, then all
Tough
of
to
it.
beat, but Wolfie D really going after him.
How about Randy Hales?
Oh,
Back
man.
in time. Back in stride again, as they say.
I am so happy. Jim Cornette maybe gets his tonight at the New Daisy Theater.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
Because he has to face Randy Hales, and there are going to be people in either corner, maybe, that'll...
3 counts.
He got him.
A 3.
He got him.
He got a 3. Oh, here
But-
comes Mick Tierney. He'll be fined for that if he touches the referee. Kevin Christian jumps in.
Christian going after Wolfie D. He was part of that Jimmy Cornette attack on Wolfie D and Randy Hales a little bit earlier. Now Kevin's got the hubcap, gives it to Glenn Coca. Kevin holds Wolfie up. Coca.
Oh, look out.
Well, that'll teach you, Kevin Christian. Now Wolfie D's got his own hubcap. He goes after first Coca, then Tierney. So the referee is loose finally. Aubrey's still kind of staggered. They really nailed him earlier today, and he still doesn't have it all quite back together, and understandably so.
Wolfie D.
What a hell of a talent Wolfie D is. Just fantastic wrestler.
As they jump on Wolfie. And finally, they take off out of here, out of the studio. Want to get Wolfie down and get a word about the action coming up tonight at the New Daisy, the big Back to School special. All student prices, $4 special price coming up tonight at the New Daisy on Bill. Here's Kurt Angle also.
Wolfie, I just want to say, hold up. I believe this is my match, and if you're going to come out here and talk, I know we're partners, but shouldn't the veteran of the team go first? That's only fair, right? Hey, here's the point I'm trying to get across. Me and this guy here, this guy's from another world. He don't know nothing about my life, and I don't really know nothing about his. I don't really care. But tonight, me and you are going to be partners against Mick Tierney and Glenn Coca. And if you fight hard, I'm going to fight hard. We ain't got to like each other. That's it on that. Now, Jim Cornette, I know Randy Hales better than most people in this building. And I ain't going to sit here and tell you that he's a real tough guy. But he can whoop you, Jim Cornette, and he looks mad to me, so if I was you, I'd get the heck out of Memphis just as quick as I could.
You know, Wolfie, it's no secret what I want here, and that's simply to be the best here in Power Pro. I hate second place. And if that means suplexing every damn guy in the company, That's
You know what? That's what's going to end up happening. You're going to suplex everybody and get us disqualified.
See this shirt? Wolfie, this says attitude. That's what you got to have to be the best.
Is that right?
That's right. Now, tonight, you and I, we have Mick and Glenn, okay? These guys have been nothing but pains in my side since I got started down here. Now, I can't beat them alone, and I know that. But if I want anybody in my corner, I realize, besides me, and this is my opinion, you're the best here in Power Pro. So, after we kick their butts tonight, and it's all over, you and I can settle out our differences. Yeah. Because I realize you want to be the best, and you want to be the champion.
I am the best.
And I want to be the champion because I believe I'm the best. But I have one thing to say, Wolfie D. That title has my name on it.
I believe that title's got my name on it.
Well, I know one thing. You guys have got to be able to get along if they're going to wrestle tonight. They two are going to be teaming up at the New Daisy.
Good segment.
And they can't hardly get along.
Very good from somebody that Adam always brings up, that they say we didn't do anything with. I think we did plenty with the son of a gun, Adam.
That's how I met my wife.
It's the Power Hour. Keep moving on. It's what we're doing on the Power Hour. Watching show number 75. Been a good one. Saw the return of Randy Hill. Saw Ollie once again. Very interesting to see him. Later that night, when we recorded at the New Daisy, he made his debut in
Back on the Power Hour. A few weeks ago, we had Mark
a handicap
from the
match.
United
Yes, we
Cerebral
did.
Palsy here with a special promotion that the Power Pro was in association with. Well, there was a fire early yesterday morning that destroyed a lot of the toys.
Appreciate
water
all the
damage
members
out
of
at,
Team
Children's
Hales
Play
watching the
Learning
show
Center there.
today.
Well, there's gonna
And
be a big toy drive,
reminder that
worthy
we'll be
cause,
back Tuesday
tomorrow
night
afternoon,
on
1
Talking
until 5
Memphis
at the
Wrestling,
Toys R Us,
Friday night
Germantown
on the
Parkway.
Randy
That's
Hill
right
Show,
across from Wolf Chase
and be
Gallery.
right
Bring
here
the
next
kids out,
week,
donate some toys.
Monday
Give the
night,
United Cerebral Palsy,
same
Tanya Powers, and all
time,
the great people.
7
Thanks for letting
Central.
us know about it.
About $30,000.
Obviously, the
worth of
Friday
stuff
show
there.
will
The
be
kids, they were
on,
very,
the only
very
show I
well.
do that's
Let's
on
take a
at
look
6
at
Central.
Yeah,
Next
that's
Monday,
exactly right.
the
Hey,
Power
back to
Hour,
again, right?
show
Next
number
Monday, we're gonna be on at
76.
4 o'clock. If you have tickets for our show, though, be here at the regular time. We're going to tape at the regular time on Saturday morning, and then it airs next Sunday, next week only, at 4 o'clock. Let's take a look at the action coming up around the territory. Power Pro on tour tonight. CWA Wrestling in Saltillo, Mississippi at the Community Center. That is going to be at 8 o'clock. Don't forget tonight, of course, New Daisy Theater.
Yes, sir, Bob. Tonight at the New Daisy, and as Dave mentioned, tonight also over in Saltillo, Mississippi. And Tuesday night, West Memphis, Arkansas coming up.
Friday night, Corinth, Mississippi, American Legion Building at 7:30. Thursday night, September 30th in Savannah, Tennessee at the Fairgrounds Exhibit Building.
Back in Clarksdale at the Civic Auditorium, October 1. Big night down there last night in Clarksdale. Looking forward to all the fans. We'll see you when we come back when Power Pro hits you there. And we'll see you on the other side of this break, too.
That's exactly right. Don't forget, New Daisy, 8 o'clock tonight. Back with the Power Hour in a moment.
Figures.
Shane asked a question earlier in the show. I believe it was Shane that asked the question, what in the world happened to Power Pro Wrestling at the end? At the end of this show today, and before Adam does the preview, we'll probably let Adam do the preview and give me a chance to upload a video, and we'll go to that very last Power Pro show and my interview explaining it. It'll be easier to go back and listen to that interview from back in the day. So, Shane, if that was you that asked that, we'll do that a little later on. Very interested to know what y'all doing to prepare for August. August is coming up. The dog days of August. It is coming, and it's coming soon. Tomorrow is August the 1st, folks. This is the last day of July the 31st. And this, once again, is Power Pro Wrestling Show number 75. Show number 75, and we're coming to the latter part of the show, and it's been a good show. Had Kurt Angle and Whoopi D, that story there, the return of Randy Hills to Power Pro Wrestling, Lance Jade and the mess that he was involved with, and Ali. a part of the Power Pro crew. We saw him for the second time. We are setting up things for the New Daisy action tonight. So it's been a big Power Pro show and another huge return on Power Pro Wrestling. OBC, we talked about him a little bit later, a little bit earlier in the show, and we're back live with the show right now.
Only $10 for ringside. Advance tickets on sale at the New Daisy Theater. First match of the night, Bulldog Reigns will be going against Chris the Dragon Cannonball.
Then you'll see a triple threat match for the Young Guns, Sato and Kid Wicket. Slick Robbie D's in there. Derek King, triple threat action coming up. Then, first time ever in Memphis, we're going to see the debut of Ali Stevens. He's in a handicap match tonight at the New Daisy. Grudge tag team action. I hope Wolfie and Kirk can get along tonight, at least for a few minutes when they tangle up to team up against Glenn Coker and Mick Tierney. They got Kevin Christian along with them. And then, special challenge match. The mystery is no longer, it's Randy Hales on one side with Brandon Baxter. On the other side is James E. Cornette with Kevin Christian. And man, it's great to see Randy Hales back in Power Pro. He'll be at the New Daisy tonight, and the heavyweight title is on the line tonight. Loser gets 10 lashes when sensational Steve Bradley with Sin takes on vicious Vic Grimes. Big night tonight. Randy Hales is back in Power Pro Wrestling. He's came in, Dave, and he's cut prices. Student tickets only $4. Big night tonight. Me standing here with an ice pack on my head, you bunch of morons. Let me explain.
James Cornette.
I'm dizzy right now, so let me talk. I made a cell phone call. Randy Hales, if I'm going to have a match with you tonight, then I know that you've got everybody in Memphis, Tennessee in your back pocket, and I at least want an honest referee to keep things fair and square and right down the line. And so I called somebody on the phone, and he's here. And I would like you now to meet the special referee for my match tonight with Randy Hales.
Randy's in the booth. Randy's in the booth. He says he doesn't care who the referee is, just as long as there is one.
He will care.
All right, who did you call? Get him out of here. Let's get the lights back on, for heaven's sake. Is this another one of these Jim Cornette tricks?
This is what you're going to be seeing tonight. A lot of sparkly things and a lot of darkness. Because I'm going to lay the hammer down on you, Randy, and this man's going to count the 3 count. Because he's the only honest man in the city of Memphis, Tennessee.
Who is that? Through the flashing strobe light, I couldn't tell who it was.
Yeah, I'll tell you,
I don't think it's Glenn Coker. It looks a little bit like the build of Coker.
No, he's an honest man. He's forthright and upright, and he hates Randy Hales just as bad, maybe worse than I do. And he is going to be there tonight at the New Daisy to referee that match.
Well, let's see who he is. We're sitting in black on television here. That's not a very good idea. Who is that?
Who in the world is that in the ring? Don't tell me you've forgotten how quickly they forget.
I can't see who it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, too sexy. Brian Christopher is back.
Brian Christopher? Brian Christopher? What's he doing here?
He hates Randy Hales just as bad as I do, because Randy Hales has been nothing but a pain to this man. All you people in Memphis.
No, this is not going to work.
I can't believe
This
it,
is terrible. As a special referee in the ring, look, we had this. It was all laid out by Brandon Baxter so that it could just be Randy Hales against Jim Cornette. And now Brian Christopher shows up. What are you doing here?
What am I doing here? I bet you're surprised, Dave Brown.
Yeah, I am surprised.
All these people over here are surprised and shocked to see me. When I walked through the back there, everybody's eyes were bulging out of their heads. Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing here. What I'm doing here is this man right here gave me a phone call.
We saw a phone call.
A simple phone call. Something that Randy Hales has failed to do. He hadn't called me in 3-4 months when I was laying up at home with a torn ACL, one of the worst knee injuries a man can have.
You couldn't be here. You couldn't be in matches or anything.
Shut your mouth. Now, Randy Hales, Like I said, no phone call, no card, not even a simple letter. When I got thousands, and I mean literally thousands of cards and letters from all over the country. People in California, down in Texas, up in New York, sent them to me. Want to know, Brian, how you doing? Brian, when you gonna be back? I had major knee surgery down in Birmingham, Alabama. And everybody in the WWF, they called and checked on me every single day.
I did.
He called, checked on me all the time.
Shut up.
But Randy Hales, what I get from you, I got nothing. I got nothing. And then I sit at home and watch this television program, if you can call it that. And I see he's running around now with all his cronies from back in 95 and 96 when this company was making money. He's running around with Wolfie D. He's running around with the town drunk Tommy Rich. And a man who I've beat more times than I can count, Doug Gilbert. But what you forget is, Randy Hales, back in 95 and 96, whose name was in the main event? Whose name were the people coming out to see? It was me. Now, there's only a few names that is synonymous with Memphis wrestling, and Too Sexy Brian Christopher is definitely one of them. And I don't know if he told you, and I don't know if he told you not to mention my name on television, my own hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. But Corey Macklin, I know you knew where I was. I saw you at a jewelry store a couple of months ago, and you run up to me. Oh, Brian, that's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous what happened
All
to you.
right, yeah, come on.
And what about you, Dave Brown? You didn't mention my injury either. I know you got a computer at home. You're on there checking your dew points and your barometric pressures. I'm sure you ran across my injury on the internet, and you didn't say one thing about it. Well, I'll tell you what, Randy Hales. I'll tell you what, I'll be down on Bill Street tonight. I'll be at the Army New Daisy. I'll be that special referee, but I'm not going to tell you what might happen, because I want this man right here to be in charge from now on. And if it takes getting rid of you, then that just might be what happens tonight on Bill Street. I wouldn't miss this for the world.
The return of Brian Christopher on Power Pro Wrestling. Make sure when the show is over not to go away, because I won't answer Shane Oldham's question with going back with the videotape. So as soon as this show is over, we'll have Adam give his thoughts of this show and have Adam preview the show we're showing next week. Then we'll be back. By that point, I'll be able to upload that video. Can't get over the fact it is almost August already. Man, where does the time go? For sure. Coquina loved that promo. PJ loved the promo and says that Brian was great on the mic. Yes, he was. Brian just had it all. He was great in the ring, great personality. He had a great head, a great mind for the wrestling business. Just excellent, fantastic wrestling talent. 5 years ago this month, we lost Brian. Very, very sad. Very sad. Still think about Brian a lot. Never had one bad off camera. Obviously, that was not getting along, but an off camera argument with Brian, never at all. Very respectful. No issues with Brian Christopher at all with me and him personally. We talked about Adrian Street a little earlier. He passed away on July 24th at 82 years old. That's sad as well. Here's Vic Grimes.
Coming out here making false accusations, telling everyone that I'm a wife, that I'm I'm going to beat her, and then I'm going to draw with the knife and the New Daisy. I'm going to take care of both of you, Steve Bradley and Sin. You're going down. Hey, look out! Look out! Come on! Hey, come on!
Jim Cornette and Steve Bradley. Bradley with a chair, Cornette with a chair from behind. They're out here with Sin. Jump, Vic Grimes.
Come on!
Vic trying to do his interview here.
I've got enough of you, Cornette. Enough! This is ridiculous. I'm telling you now.
Come on.
I tell you what, Vic will be looking for him tonight. I guarantee you that,
New
Dave.
Daisy Theater. This will be a different story.
4 o'clock next Sunday. Join us for the Power Hour right here.
Want to bring in Adam Dunn to give his thoughts on the program today. Anything else you want to say? Let him stretch a little bit while I upload the video I want to show you. Also, he'll preview next week's show. So we'll turn the show back over to Adam Dunn, and I'll go away for a minute, Adam.
All right, we'll give you some time to go ahead and get that uploaded. Heck of a show today. What a return. Too Sexy Brian Christopher back on the show today, called in by Jim Cornette to be the special referee at the New Daisy. And as you heard, next week's show is going to be the one and only time there was ever a cage match in the WMC studios. So if you've never seen this, tune in next week. It's the one and only time there was ever a cage match in the WMC studios. That'll be the September 25th, 1999 edition. It'll be joined in progress. You heard them mention today that there was some NBC sporting commitments and that the show was moved to Sunday. And even with them moving the show, it was still joined in progress due to that. You'll see Kurt Angle and Wolfie D going against Chris the Dragon Cannonball and Derek King. You'll see, of course, Jim Cornette, Steve Bradley, and Sin will be around. Angle and Wolfie kind of get into it. We saw the seed of that planted this week. Lance Jade, he'll sneak in because of what happened when he got kicked out today. He'll get thrown back out again as well. You'll see Brandon Baxter. He'll be with Ali. And then we'll have a Ali in a handicap match on television. Wolfie walks out of Power Pro Wrestling next week. And you'll see a segment between Randy and Brian that gets pretty nasty. And as I mentioned, Steve Bradley and Vic Grimes in a cage as the main event on next week's Power Hour, Randy.
Now, the last Power Pro show, Adam, help me on this, was at April the 14th, 2021. As Adam didn't want to audio-wise say yes, but he sent me a private chat that says yes, it was. We'll just go ahead and watch the open of the very last show and my announcement. We'll go ahead and hit that, and that's all we'll see. After my interview goes away, then we'll come back. And Shane, if you have any questions there, because I certainly explain everything in a very truthful interview. So let's watch.
Pro Wrestling. The Power Hour.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Power Hour live right here on TV5. We're set to go with another big Saturday of action. Dave Brown and Corey Macklin here at ringside once again.
Here we are, buddy, right here for the Power Hour. We're on air live in the studio of WMC TV5 and ready to go with another big one.
And in the ring right now, the owner, the founder, the president of Power Pro Wrestling, Randy Hale.
Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you very much, Corey. If I could have everybody's attention for just a second, wanted to start the show, and it'll be a great show today, and we're thrilled to death with everything scheduled. Wanted to make this announcement. You know, Power Pro Wrestling premiered 3 years ago on April the 18th, 1998, and it was the happiest day of my life, and I'm sure a lot of people here were there that day. You know, Memphis wrestling has been a part of me for my whole life. I started watching wrestling in 1971, and I guess obsession is a good word to say, but I love Memphis wrestling. It's part of me. You know, my dream always, you know, a lot of kids want to be the doctor or the lawyer. I wanted to be in the wrestling business. A lot of people don't get to live their dream. Most people don't get to live their dream, and I'm blessed for the fact that I was able to do that thanks to a lot of people over the years, and thanks to the best wrestling fans in the world, the fans of Memphis, Tennessee. We were able to do that. And for the past 3 years, I think we've done a great job, and the talent have been great. And a lot of people have put their heart and soul into Power Pro Wrestling, and from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every one of them, and I hope I can get through this interview right now because I feel myself not getting through it. Anyway, I wanted to make this announcement. You know, one thing that's sure in life is that you can always be sure of is that everything changes. And regretfully, I'm here to announce that had a meeting last Saturday afternoon, and due to kind of way financially things have changed in the wrestling business and the TV business, and because of insurance liability reasons, I was informed a week ago last Saturday that today is the last ever Power Pro television show. And I just wanted to come out and tell you, and I don't want to bring people down today because you never know what happened down the line. They're going to start airing next week the best of Memphis wrestling, some classic footage, and you never know what will happen after that. I just wanted to come out here right now once again and say that I appreciate everything from everybody. You know, there's a lot of things that needs to be settled around here because over the last several months, there's been things going on that I hadn't liked and the people hadn't liked. And
the rest of the show, and here we are. That was really what was going on and what I knew at the moment, because I was told, which was a complete bullshit reason. I was told by Creighton Armour, the director of operations for TV5, I was told the previous week, because we were coming up on the end of my 3-year contract, and I was being assured by people close to me, yeah, they're just busy, but they'll get to you, they'll get with you, they won't, the show's not going anywhere. But I was worried, and I was told after the television show the previous week by Creighton Armour that because of liability and the insurance reasons, they couldn't have a ring and couldn't have that sort of thing and couldn't have the liability, couldn't get insured, all that thing. And we were done after the very next show. After the next week's show, we were done. Now, what I really find out is going on there is they had a news director. Her name was Peggy Phillips, and Peggy was anti-wrestling and anti-anything but news, and she wanted a bigger news studio, so she wanted that wrestling studio completely 100% as the news studio. And so that's what happened. So with no notice at all, I was out of the wrestling business. So that's the way it was. No doubt. So do you have anything to say to that, Adam? Did I cover it? Did I cover Shane's question right?
Yeah, I think you covered it pretty well, and of course, I showed it during the video. If you don't have Randy's book, that covers it really well as to what happened during that time. And yeah, there was some other things going on as well, in addition to Peggy wanting the studio for the news and things going on with Corey and Creighton and things like that as well.
Power play. But the main thing is they didn't know. Creighton or Corey didn't know the real deal either. They just thought, well, if Randy don't get the TV, we can get the TV. They didn't know the whole thing was going away and the whole studio was going away. That is the truth, and I was bitter about that for a long time. Certainly was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tomorrow night on Talking Memphis Wrestling, Adam, I have a packed show. As you see, this bunch of notes for the show tomorrow, and I think it will be just fantastic. We will show several videos from the early 70s. I think you will really, really like it. Some classic Jerry Lawler and Porkchop Cash turning on Gorgeous George Jr., a great deal that was that and more stuff, just some old stuff. We will also show you highlights of the first sellout of the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. All three fall highlight, Jackie Fargo, Al Green, the loser leave town match. We will show you 2 videos from Adrian Street's run here as well. And we are going to review the great documentary that premiered today on the Peacock Network of the American Nightmare becoming Cody Rhodes. And I think, folks, that'll be great wrestling talk. We'll also talk about, it's coming up at the end of August. And before that, we'll do a little preview about SummerSlam. SummerSlam coming up the first week of August, coming up pretty soon. So we'll talk SummerSlam. We'll talk about All In, All Out, just a bunch of stuff. I think you will really enjoy that. And Adam, I don't know if we have graphics of SummerSlam and that sort of thing, but if we do, just go ahead and put that up there. If we don't, we will not going to put it up there. Also want to throw out a very interesting question, and I have my own answer, and I want you guys to think about it for the next few days or until tomorrow, and I will ask the question. There is a ton of wrestling videos out there from Memphis, Tennessee. There's a lot. Now, there's not a whole lot of stuff, some, but not a whole lot of stuff from Channel 13. You guys, I'm sure, know what's out there and what's not out there. Is there any memorable moment from Memphis wrestling that you'd like to see that's not on YouTube? We'll talk about that. Any memorable moment of Memphis wrestling history that you would like to see again? I have my list and it's lost forever, but I can't wait to have that discussion. As Brooks Tullis says, SummerSlam is next weekend. But PJ says she got a bigger news studio, but she got rid of wrestling out of Memphis thanks to her. Absolutely. Greg Campbell says that's total BS. Shane, who asked the question, stuck around to listen to the question, and PJ thought that was an emotional speech, and it was. Adam, that I think I've told you this story off the air. I don't think that I ever told this story on the air. However, originally, I was not going to go to that last TV. I just thought it would be too much for me. So I asked Lawler, I said if I fax you the show, will you run the TV? And then I told Brandon that here in Jonesboro. Brandon said, man, that's just not right, Randy. You got to go. You got to put your big boy pants on. You got to go for the talent and for the fans. You got to go. Don't let anybody other than you run that TV because you never know what'll happen. Said you got to be there. So Creighton Armour, who had never came to TV, I'm sure when I fax in the show and it says at the open of the show, interview Randy Hales, I'm sure Corey Macklin or Dave Brown or somebody says, we hope Randy doesn't go out of school. Randy's done the first interview on the show. And Creighton was upstairs because right before I was upstairs getting prepped for the show, knowing I had to do that segment earlier, but then he came up and sat down beside me, and I didn't say anything to him. I just went directly downstairs because I had to be on the air. I guarantee you he was there in case I said something off the track and knocked whoever, knocked Corey, knocked Dave, knocked him, knocked the TV station, knocked anybody, a cuss or whatever it might be. He was there to tell the director to go to to black, and so he was up there. And so after my interview was over, I never went back upstairs, not once. I put a headset on downstairs, and I talked to the director that way, tell him when to go to break or tell him whatever they needed to. So, knowing how hot headed I am normally, and knowing this is the most traumatic bit of news I've ever had in my life, and I felt my life was over. Do you think that I did that promo with uncharacteristic for me, big time restraint and a level head, and doing what was best for the show?
Absolutely. And if you want to find out what Randy did after the show, read the first chapter of his book.
Oh, yeah. You just had to say that, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, get the book, folks. Final words, Adam. We're going a little overtime, but I think Shane's, I just didn't want to tell that story. I thought you could tell that story better by just going back and showing that last interview. Do you think that was the right call?
Absolutely. Whenever we can back it up with video and having the video on hard drive and easy to load up into this program, yeah, I think that just is easier than trying to explain it all. So, yeah, I think it's a good show. And like I say, we'll have a little bit of a shorter show next week because it was joined in progress due to NBC sports coverage. But the one and only time ever, cage match in the studio.
Craziness, absolutely craziness. One thing, Adam, that I did to you just then, and we talked about it. Come back on real quick because come back on, Adam, real quick because obviously you did not know because I didn't know. I did not know till later on, till Shane asked that question that I would go with that and go ahead and play that video. That was the furthest thing from my mind. But what that is the theme of this show, the entire series, in my booking. And what is that?
Expect the unexpected.
Well, what you're expecting now, what everybody's expecting now is not unexpected. I will say that I appreciate Team Hells. I appreciate Adam Dunn, and I appreciate everyone I see tomorrow night on Talking Memphis Wrestling. And I'm going to be back to produce Bo James and Chris Ellis with us. Pat, for Christ's sakes, is in Ireland or Turkey. Uh-oh. Living the dream, the Randy Hill story. You can go to.
He was asking where he could get the book. So you can, there's the website down there, or you can click on the QR code in the corner right there to take you to Randy's webpage.
And I am, to be honest, I am real short on books. You might could go to Amazon, and that might be your best bet right now. That might be the best bet.
Yep.
All right.
The QR code over there, if I can point the right direction, the QR code will take you to Amazon. But just search it on Amazon, Living the Dream, the Randy Hale story, and you can get it there.
Well,
Al enjoyed the show tonight.
I enjoyed the show tonight, and I think everybody enjoyed the show tonight. Once again, we'll go off the air saying 5 years ago, this month, we lost Brian Christopher. 10 years ago, we lost Corey Macklin. On the 24th day of this month, and it was just announced today, we lost the exotic Adrian Street. There you see him with the great Lance Russell and his wife, Linda. Rest in peace to all these guys. Kind of switch up the pictures, and what we'll do is that I'll quit talking. We'll run through the pictures again, and we'll just code-wise, we'll hit the close. Okay, Adam? We're done.
Power Pro Wrestling. Power Pro Wrestling.